any church that is a real church has to be calling out these MAGA practices because they're completely incompatible with the teachings of Jesus. And let me just give a few examples of how that is. Inclusivity versus exclusivity. Jesus welcomed outsiders, foreigners, strangers, sinners, women, children, the poor, the marginalized. He broke down the barriers of ethnicity, of class, of the gender barriers that existed at the time. And MAGA instead often emphasizes nationalism, border walls, us versus them thinking, which excludes immigrants and refugees, marginalized group. That's one way. Humility versus power is another. Jesus taught that the first will be last and the last will be first, lifting up humility, service, sacrifice. He washed the feet of his disciples. He rejected worldly power. MAGA elevates strength, domination, and winning at all costs. Political rhetoric often mocks humility as weakness. We remember that infamous moment during Trump's first campaign where he's making fun of the disabled reporter. That kind of stuff is incompatible with the teachings of Jesus. Another way is nonviolence versus aggression. Jesus taught about turning the other cheek, loving enemies, rejecting violence, even when threatened. But MAGA frequently glorifies guns, military might, and standing your ground rather than peacemaking. Truth versus falsehood. Jesus said the truth will set you free and condemned hypocrisy. MAGA is known for alternative facts, conspiracy theories, and disinformation that sow division. Information that also leads to death. I think about vaccines as a case in point. Shared humanity versus nationalism is another. Jesus saw the kingdom, the reign of God, as global, where every tribe and nation is welcomed. MAGA prioritizes American exceptionalism, national greatness, and often does that at the expense of global cooperation. Generosity versus greed is another one. Jesus spoke constantly about caring for the poor, selling possessions, and giving to those in need. MAGA promotes tax cuts for the wealthy, policies that protect privilege, and wealth accumulation. Love versus fear is another. Jesus said the greatest commandment is to love God and neighbor. He cast out fear of love. MAGA relies on fear of immigrants, fear of change, fear of cultural dominance loss to mobilize supporters. And that's just a few of the things. Healthcare, education, mental health care. All of these things are things that are incompatible with the teachings of Jesus. When we look at how MAGA is actively working to make life worse for the majority of people in this world and better for only a few.